Smiths Falls. Welcome to Smiths Falls On. This is episode number 8, folks. Number 8. And on this episode, I have my good friends, Jarryd Lee and Josie Wittmer. They are Mighty Valley Coffee, Smiths Falls' own coffee roasters. Have you had their coffee? I hope you have. If you haven't, go get some. Anyway, I have a little story to tell. I just got a message from a friend of mine out in Kelowna, BC. And he's like, hey, did you know that our high school friend Nick is moving to Smiths Falls? He just bought a house there. I was like, really? Well, I sent a message to Nick just now, like just 2 minutes ago. And it's true. He bought a house here in Smiths Falls. He's going to be like a 10-minute walk from me, my high school buddy, Nick. We went to punk rock shows together. We went to Maryville High School together. Nick was always a fun dude. And so I just messaged with him, and we set up a little date I'm going to show him around town. I'm going to show Nick around town. Nick is one of the only people who ever came up to my cottage as a kid. Wow. I'm going to bring you up to my cottage again, Nick. It's really close to here. Anyway, I'm going to show him the ropes. I told him to listen to the podcast as a good start. I think it's a good start to get an intro to Smiths Falls, to keep up on the town, whether you're just arriving or whether you've been here a long time. This is a podcast all about town, all for the town. So if this is your first listen, that's us in a nutshell. And today, as I mentioned, we have Josie and Jarryd from Mighty Valley Coffee. And I am very excited for my conversation with them because I've been trying to get them out for a while. So we're going to get to that right after a couple of notes from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Arts Hub. What is the Arts Hub? The Arts Hub is the place to go for local art and artisanal goods. Woodworkers, potters, painters, macrame, crafts, makers, local. Come down to the Arts Hub and see what is on the shelves. And there's more because this Saturday, October 16th, from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m., the Arts Hub is hosting its very first workshop. It's a paper making workshop. Where would art be without paper? Paintings, drawings, literature, poetry. Where would any of that be without paper? Well, now you can learn how to make it. Upcycle, recycle, making paper from pulp. It is $45 for a single registration, or save $10 when you register yourself and a friend for $80. Go check out the Arts Hub on Facebook or at their website, theartshubsf.com, and get in contact with them to register for this fun paper making workshop hosted by Rose Dyke, who is a previous exhibitor at the Arts Hub. You can also buy her paintings at the Arts Hub. And our show today is also brought to you by Northwood Music. Northwood Music is a record label, a local record label. Did you know about that? There are local people making music and releasing the music. Artists like Amber McLean, Elmsley, and Madden Grace are 3 local Smiths Falls artists putting music out via Northwood Music. Check it out, northwoodmusic.ca. And without any further ado, here is my talk with Jarryd Lee and Josie Wittmer of Mighty Valley Coffee. I feel good to you? You can hear everything?
Yeah, sounds great.
Hear yourself enough? Hear me enough?
I think so.
Hear your wife enough?
Definitely.
Hear your husband enough?
My wife.
My wife?
My wife.
Oh, fucking pandemic, guys.
Yeah, man. It's here.
It's one of those.
How are you feeling?
Okay. I feel like it's halfway through the pandemic, maybe. A couple years in.
Is that what you think? Halfway?
Yeah, I think so.
You think we're like a 4-year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be long. Of course, we're going to remember it for our whole lives.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, can hold that in your heart. But, yeah. So we're blessed here, Josie and I, in Smiths Falls in a lot of ways. So, feeling good.
You're on a podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. I've been trying to get you guys out for a while.
Yeah, summer's busy.
Yeah.
It's a busy time.
Yeah, the ones who keep getting away. Mind you, I do usually just text you that day. I'm like, hey, podcast tonight, eh?
Yeah, do you want to do it? I do, but I can't.
Yeah.
But now I am.
But we planned ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get better at planning ahead. It really works when you just do it. Then you have a deadline to work to. You have a commitment.
Absolutely. Calendars. We have a shared calendar we use. Josie and I.
A Google one?
We're using an Apple one
Apple
right
calendar.
now. Looking into some other apps. There's some other ideas out there.
Yeah. Mighty Valley Coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me the story. What's the Mighty Valley story? Hold on.
Yeah.
Pause. Introduce yourselves as individuals before we get to the brand.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
faceless corporation. Who are the faces? Who are the people?
Well, I'm Jarryd. I am from Smiths Falls, and I've worn many hats over my days and done a few different things, planted some trees, taught some yoga, roasting coffee, and, I just enjoy doing different things.
Yeah.
And coffee became a passion. And so that was part of the Mighty Valley journey. It's a little bit about Jarryd Lee. Who is Josie Wittmer?
Oh, Josie Wittmer.
Dr. Josie Wittmer?
Dr. J, as we affectionately know her as.
Yeah. I'm a human being. I'm a person. I live in Smiths Falls as well here. And we have a dog and 2 cats that we love very dearly. I guess I work at Queen's now. I just started a new job there where I'm an adjunct professor teaching, and then I'm also working as a postdoctoral researcher with the Global Economies and Everyday Lives Lab. And so that's I'm only like 2 weeks in on that job, but I'm very excited to be there, and it's really fun. So
That sounds like some heavy shit.
I mean, it has a little bit to do with coffee in terms of
Really?
global economies and everyday lives. So yeah, some of what we do with our coffee business definitely is influenced by some of the global development studies work that I do for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's complex systems, man.
Okay, so Jarryd and Josie, now that we know who's on the show, now let's get to the brand. Mighty Valley.
Yeah.
It was not that long ago. It was a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, we started last June.
Yeah.
Is when we started roasting coffee. We got the coffee roaster hooked up in the middle of at the start of the pandemic.
Which is like a pretty fancy piece of kit.
Yeah, it's a cool little machine for sure. It roasts 5 kgs of coffee. I roasted at 4.2, or 3.8 for production roasts, so a little less than 5. If we're going to get technical.
How many bags of coffee is that?
It's about 10. 10 bags.
10 bags at a time.
About 10 bags. Yeah. It's not that much.
Yeah.
But we do, but I can really tune in the roasts, and I'm having a lot of fun roasting some really nice beans, pulling them on espresso shots at the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good journey. Today I was roasting, and I decided to not use my computer for a roast. So I have this computer set up to the roaster where it has a couple of temperature probes that go into the computer, and you can kind of monitor how everything's going. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go on the senses.
Yeah.
And
now,
take
is there
it
a slang?
offline.
Is there like a slang term for that in the coffee roasters world? Do they call that like
going off the grid?
bareback or something? Going off the grid?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, a lot of people don't do that, actually. Like, that's the old style of roasting.
Yeah.
So you just use your senses, and the computer is almost like a fail-safe.
Right.
But it does give you a lot of feedback, so it's useful, but you can get married to the computer.
Yeah.
So I just was like, you know what? Let's close the computer. It's like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And the, down the tunnel, just about to destroy the Death Star. But I was creating not death, but beauty in the coffee.
That thing kind of looks like a mini Death Star.
Yeah, it's a lot of stainless steel. So it kind of reminds me of
I don't know
Darth
what I was
Vader.
expecting when I was like, because you showed me this thing.
Yeah.
I got to see it. And I don't know what I was expecting when I don't know.
Rolled up.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of things roasted, and usually it's just, heat. It's just some coils.
It doesn't have a name
like
yet.
A toaster or
A pan.
a pan. Like,
Yeah.
but it's got little windows on it, like pulleys. It reminded me of something that was like mind-blowingly high-tech 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So much so that it's still high-tech today, but looks kind of old world.
Yeah, and the technology doesn't need to change too much.
Yeah.
You can just kind of tune into it a little more in some ways. But yeah, roasting coffee, lots of good beans, and working with a couple of different importers in Ottawa and some importers in Montreal. We have really nice programs with farmers and co-ops.
So
So
they
that's been
bring
fun too.
They bring the beans in from different places of the world
That's right. Yeah.
to a central distribution warehouse.
Yeah.
And these are
sometimes.
what do they call these, green beans or raw beans?
Yeah,
or
green beans.
green beans.
Yeah, so I really lean on my importers, the importers that I work with. So they have connections in the community and with the farmers and with the co-ops. And then I focus on the roasting and, brewing the coffee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different parts of the whole system, from the farmer right up to the consumer. So I'm kind of like in this, little section of it and trying to do my best in that section and, try and make the whole chain a little better for everybody.
Yeah, and I would say that because we started up during the pandemic when there was no traveling anywhere, we kind of are in a position where although we spent most of our 20s like traveling and living in different places in the world, and we are definitely not shy to do that kind of work. But I think that because we started up during the pandemic, we have to rely on folks that have these connections because we're not able to go and meet farmers and do that work right now. So it's good though, because we found some really great folks in Ottawa and Montreal who have already established those connections. And so for us, it's mostly about trying to work with people who have a similar sort of like set of values and priorities in the business. And it's not just about making a bunch of money. It's about, making sure that farmers are being paid and that these systems that we're feeding into are equitable. And
Yeah. So what is fair trade? Is that like, can anybody just call themselves fair trade if they think they're being like nice enough? Or is that like being organic? Is there
There's a
certification process?
There's a fair trade, like one word, corporation.
Yeah.
Or it's an
international like body, certifying body.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they are I would say sort of like a top-down structure that evaluates cooperatives and places sort of on the ground in terms of they've got their check boxes to make sure that there's a base price that you can buy coffee. I mean, also cotton. There's fair trade coffee, cotton, chocolate, all kinds of things are fair trade. But yeah, it's sort of like this certifying body that's they make sure that there's like a minimum requirement met for bringing goods from one place to another. But that's pretty much what it is, though. It's like a minimum requirement for like what they deem to be ethics. But it's like a blanket approach where there's which is there are very good things about fair trade,
totally,
for sure,
very necessary.
But there are also drawbacks in that like the communities themselves don't really have a voice in the governing structures of fair trade, and that it is a top-down thing.
Yeah.
So
and more opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities in the coffee world.
They buy tons of coffee. Fair trade does do good stuff.
Yeah. And they've contributed to a lot of positive things. But there's other ways as well. And we do buy some fair trade coffee, and we buy some coffee directly from farmers who don't have like the exact certification, but the farms, are really, they grow their coffee well.
Yeah.
Well, fair trade's not accessible. Like one of the things is that you have to be in a cooperative and you have to be organized in that way. So there's drawbacks and there's different drawbacks and benefits of fair trade depending on the context and where you are. So I think we get fair trade coffee from Ethiopia, correct?
We have gotten fair trade coffee from Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't have like a consistent fair trade, source.
But you do specialty coffee from them.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, sometimes we get fair trade, sometimes we don't. It depends on the context and where we're working and what's available.
So is it the suppliers that would typically get certified as fair trade, or
retailers?
Use the stamp too, or
the exporters. The Rainforest Alliance. That's another one. That's a huge one that does a lot of work in Brazil and do a lot of good stuff.
That's a different certifying.
It's a different certifying company. Yeah, there's a lot of different ones in the coffee world.
I also know a guy who started up, he was integral in starting up an organization called Fair Trade Music. It's actually the guy who wrote Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Hit Me Baby One More Time, and I was more excited about that, but okay.
No. What is his name? His name is It's escaping. It's Eddie something. Eddie. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I had breakfast with him one time. But they start up this fair trade music anyway. And I don't think it really took off.
Yep.
Really hard to instill value in music these days. People seem more ready to do it for things like coffee and chocolate.
Well, yeah. I think it's just kind of apples and oranges with music and coffee. Because we're dealing with a lot with coffee. It's only in the global south. Like it's only in the equator area zones. So we're always relying on these people.
And those
and
areas,
historically, we've taken advantage of them.
Yeah.
Those are the facts.
Yeah.
And so part of this is like, how can we have a business where everyone kind of wins? Or at least everyone's making a livelihood.
Yep.
And so I think that's a big thing. And I do see the parallels with music too. It's like, we see it with some of the service industry. It's happening presently. Some people are working really hard and they're not being compensated for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, when that happens, someone tries to push back to make it better.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we're trying to do.
So,
everyone's trying to do. Just trying to be good people.
You're Smiths Falls born and raised, right, Jarryd?
Yep, 1985 in the North Unit.
Yeah. But where'd you grow up, Josie?
I grew up in a small town called Uxbridge, just outside of Toronto.
Okay. I think I've asked you this before. I knew it was somewhere around there. What was Uxbridge like?
I mean, I think when my parents moved there in the 80s, it was around 6,000 people, and then it grew steadily. And I think by the time I finished high school, I didn't actually go to high school in Uxbridge. I went to school in Oshawa, but the population was about 20,000. So it grew really fast because it became sort of a sleeper town for Toronto, and the suburbs kind of came up really quickly throughout sort of my more formative years, I guess. I remember being in the playground at elementary school when they took all the cows away from the field behind us, and then it slowly became houses over the next couple of years. So, yeah, I mean, Uxbridge was, that's the development part, but yeah, it's just another small town, kind of like this, but it doesn't have like the canal and the water beauty that Smiths Falls has. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm an urban geographer by training, and I study cities like in India, like big cities, but I really like living in the small town. I like the pace here.
So have you been to India?
Oh, yes.
You've been, and I know you've been, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent
Jarryd?
years. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like from 2000. Well, we first went there in 2009.
Correct.
And then we spent it was 2014, I think, to 2018.
Yeah.
There. Most of the year, like 5-6 months at a time. Yeah, living in India.
I heard some India stories on my last show because Andrew was on.
Yeah. Of course, we're pals with Andrew and Jean and the girls. And
now, were you ever in India at the same time as him?
No. We just get to reminisce about the culture.
Were you in the same cities or places?
No,
much?
they're just like passing by, like, Mumbai and things like that. But we love Indian culture. I'm at the Carlton Place Farmers Market, and I'm beside Raj's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And they make awesome Indian food. And it's a mother and daughter, 2 daughters combination. And just shouting out them. Yeah. Because they make awesome samosas and pakoras.
And they do catering too.
Yeah, they do catering. Shout out to Raj's Kitchen.
Now,
and they're from Gujarat, which is the state that we've spent a lot
they're also
of time.
from Gujarat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you should know and should be able to tell me, like, the Indian food that I love and eat over here and I'm used to, is there like large differences in India? Or is there like...
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty similar in a lot of ways. Of course,
that's
there's some
the impression
differences.
I have, that it's a little more accurate than say like
true.
The Chinese food we
Totally.
have here.
Well, like the Chinese Canadian food it's like a totally different. It's a totally different take on Chinese food. It's like its own genre of food.
It is. It's
the Indian food here though is pretty authentic, I would say, because there's lots of folks that are making it, and it's good.
Don't get me wrong about Chinese food. I love it. And I think it has its own sort of Canadian culture intertwined with the Chinese, and it's really beautiful. But it's different. But the
I've gone. I think I've gone for like somewhat more authentic Chinese when I've been in Toronto. Like, is dim sum, is that more A little more authentic if you go out for dim sum?
I have no idea.
Honestly, I wouldn't know. I haven't spent much time in China.
I went out for dim sum once.
Yeah.
My buddy Martin, he lived in China for like a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he knows the real stuff. He'll take me out sometimes.
Yeah. We love the Tibetan culture. Of course, Tibet's part of the Chinese Federation. That's a whole nother subject, though, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, my buddy Martin that I just mentioned, he also loves Tibet. He's come up on the show before. He went into Tibet to shoot a documentary there.
Cool.
It's just like he had to smuggle the camera in because like they don't let
They don't
let film crews in.
It's very guarded,
so he
for sure.
snuck it in. They had to disassemble the camera and
Put it up his butt. And, yeah.
I don't think they went that far. I don't know. He's never really mentioned that part, and I certainly wouldn't put it past him. So, but they did. I know they disassembled it, and it was like they were risking their lives. But the footage they got is amazing. It's some of the I'll show it to you later. It's some of the best footage you could ever see. Is available. Like nice cinematic footage of Tibet shot like within the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like of the nature of the mountains?
It's a 5-minute short film, and it's about like an 8-year-old girl, a nomadic. She lives with her grandparents, and they farm yaks, and then they change homes 4 times a year with the season.
Right.
So it's just sort of a little mini doc about her.
Yeah.
He has kind of a series where he's trying to document like some of the last remaining youth still growing up in traditional settings.
Right.
Yeah, it's a culture that's changing and rapidly
by force,
dying.
Though, like,
for sure. But the nomadic culture too, just like our indigenous people, or the indigenous people here, I shouldn't say our. Their culture's changed, and the ebbs and flows
also
of it.
by force.
Also by force, yeah.
And
it's still happening like right in front of us, right now. And
yeah,
it's terrifying.
Have you ever heard of that tribe? They're south of India, and they've never been contacted, or virtually never.
No, I don't know about this.
Yeah, if people like try to roll up to the island, they just they get shot at with arrows, and it's just like India just made it illegal for people to go there.
No fly zone.
Yeah, just do not go.
Leave them alone.
And leave them alone. And if you go there, we're not responsible for what happens to you.
I've never heard of this place.
Yeah, it's the name will come to me.
They just want to keep capitalism out. Yeah,
it's pure.
So, what made you come back to Smiths Falls?
Well, I think my real estate was a good affordable home at the time, about 3 years ago.
We were looking at houses in Guelph because that's where I was doing my PhD, and I still had, after we'd been away, I was doing field work in India for those 2 years, and then we were looking at coming home, and we'd saved some money from tree planting and decided that instead of paying for rent, we could probably afford to buy a humble home in the Guelph area. So we're looking at little places there. And then I think it was the first weekend we actually got back to Canada. It was the Easter weekend. Jarryd showed me the listing for our current house in Smiths Falls here. And he said, what about this one? And I was like, there's no way we can afford that. And then I looked at it and I was like, where is this? Oh, it's in Smiths Falls. And then we went and looked at it and put an offer in that same day and got it. So we only looked at one house in reality, like in person. And it just felt right. And so I could, and then at that time, that was 2018. And I was like, oh, I can probably just finish writing my dissertation from Smiths Falls and TA some online courses and stuff. It'll be fine. And then like the pandemic happened and everything went online. So
yeah,
I was ahead of my time with the online.
So you guys moved in what month, 2018?
I think we technically got the house in July, but we didn't move until September because we were finishing up our tree planting season and we went to Burning Man. And we were away for like a month doing that.
And then we moved in after Burning Man.
Yeah.
So it was, it's just a few months before I got here. Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, right around the corner there.
Yeah, and Roz and Rob and Josie and Jordan as well. We all kind of moved in the same year.
And Pat and Emma around the corner too.
Yeah, they're there.
Oh, yeah.
I see Pat every morning at the bus stop now.
He was in his old house.
Yeah.
Now he's in his new house.
Yeah.
in this podcast.
Crazy.
Time is
Pat's house
something.
touches our house. His like back corner touches our back
Just a
corner.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's the back tip.
So
Right corner.
So when did you two meet then?
Oh, 2004. Quite a while ago.
Fourth floor of Russell. Fourth floor of the Russell residence at Carlton. Not the Russell Hotel. Whoa.
No, we
You
were
were both going to Carlton?
Yeah,
both at
that's where I met.
Carlton. We were both on the same floor in residence, and we became friends. That's how we met. We started dating 3 years later.
3 years later. Just palling around.
Palling around.
You know,
And then you went tree planting together?
No.
Josie went tree planting first and then told me of the glories. And then I thought, that sounds good. Try some of that.
Where'd you go?
In Chapleau, our first year, in Northern Ontario. And, you know.
And then I
also-
went to BC, and then you came to BC the year after.
So a lot of it at Prince George from there, you know, in BC. A lot of time in PG.
I had a couple buddies from Guelph who did tree planting. Ian. Did you know an Ian? A tree planting Ian?
We didn't know one
You
Jan.
must have known Ian.
I know a couple of Jans.
How about a Dan?
A few of those too.
Yeah, a couple of Dans too.
Yeah, it must have been one of those guys.
Yeah.
Tree planting is one of those things, though, where I feel like sometimes it's like a 50-50 almost. Like there's so few people that have done it. Like the community, even if you weren't at the same camp, you know people from other camps. And so it's like if you just throw a name out there, there's like a chance. There's a chance.
Especially if they were a crew leader
Or supervisor.
or supervisor, because then you know, I'm Jarryd, I'm looking for people on the message boards. That's when I was doing it. We were doing it on message boards.
Right. Those are,
I don't know, it's a
I
different
don't know
world.
if those exist anymore.
I don't know if they're needed.
They're hard to find.
Yeah.
They're all Facebook groups now.
Uh-huh.
Everything's Facebook now. Kijiji, Marketplace.
You don't need it.
Message boards, groups.
It's all organized. It's easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the dark web.
Yeah. I think the dark web is just anything outside of Facebook.
Page 2 of Google. It's the dark web.
I was telling you, I was watching that movie yesterday. I was watching Yesterday last night. And those were some of the funniest gags. It was like he was looking up stuff that didn't exist anymore. So he'd Google it, just the results he'd get spit back. And he was just trying to find the beetles, and all that he was getting back is Google images of the insect because the beetles didn't exist anymore.
Is it like the butterfly effect?
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that meets Groundhog Day meets, what's that other movie about singer-songwriters? Once? I think it's called Once.
Once has Glenn Hansard.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Glenn Hansard.
Yeah,
And
he's a
then
good one.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a relatable movie, living in the sort of music world, particularly like working with singer-songwriters and sort of seeing that twist on it. But funny movie. Cute movie. It's like this weird temporal shift in time, and all of a sudden the Beatles don't exist anymore, except this one guy remembers all their songs.
You can make a lot of money off that.
That's what he does.
Oh, okay.
That's what he does. He exploits, he plagiarizes.
Spoiler alert.
You learn it from the trailer.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. What are your next moves then? You told me you had some plans.
Yeah, I'm always planning.
You got some new plans?
Always scheming.
Anything you're going to share with our audience? Or more people are listening, you know.
Yeah.
I get to track them. I see them tuning in.
Well, we're doing some hot markets this year, and we definitely want to aim to have a cafe somewhere in town.
Ooh, a cafe.
So that's what definitely in the plans.
Yeah.
It's just like speaking it into existence now. Just got to do a
Right.
lot more work.
Right.
I think there's a lot of space for a couple of cool things in town. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's a couple cool
So this
spots
is
to
you.
eat and a couple
so
cool
this is
cafes.
you-
There's one cool cafe, like Say Two, is awesome.
Yeah.
So
So this is you announcing the intent to the
Yeah.
world.
Building the myth.
yeah,
Right.
it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. We just don't know where or when yet.
That's right.
Right. Gotcha. What's it going to be like?
Have you seen Motel Makeover?
Probably a lot of blush. Definitely some fake plants, so we don't have to water them.
I love real plants.
We do have a lot of
though.
plants, but realistically, who wants to water plants at your business? You want to, you got other things to do.
You're gonna roast in the cafe?
I don't know. I'm roasting at 4 degrees, and that's working out really well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, it all depends on the scales of things, and probably not to start. It's a really nice spot to roast at 4 degrees. It's
Yeah,
in a
I'll
really
bet.
nice partnership there.
It's a nice setting.
They've really taken me under their wing in a lot of ways.
So then would it be a Mighty Valley cafe, or would it be a
Yeah, I think so.
different?
Yeah, I think it'd be Mighty Valley something.
Mighty Valley Cafe.
Coffee shop, cafe.
Yeah, lots of nice espresso drinks. Some different coffee gadgets.
Yeah.
Coffee grinders, things like that. Up in the coffee experience.
Any food? Snacks?
Probably just simple baked goods.
Yeah.
A couple of things, not too much. Maybe some chocolate.
Fair trade chocolate?
Maybe fair trade chocolate. I was roasting some chocolate the other day. Just testing it out.
Roasting chocolate?
Yeah, roasting the cacao.
Cacao beans?
Yes.
Now, is that like a necessary step in making cocoa?
Unless you want white chocolate.
White chocolate's not from unroasted, though.
Isn't it?
No, it's from the butter.
Well, how do you make the butter? This is when I need to learn all this stuff. Chocolate's interesting too.
It's like there's like grease that comes from the bean, and it's like the fat from it. Mm-hmm. And I think that comes from they press it from the outer husk or something. And in normal chocolate, they'll take a certain amount of that and they'll mix it back in. I got a tour of a chocolate factory once.
Nice.
Down in Niagara.
There was a chocolate factory here.
Oh yeah. You know what? I never got a tour of that one. And that was everybody always got a tour of that one. I always would hear about. I don't know how I missed it on field trip day every fucking year growing up in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. But I never once did I set.
I got to go
in the
one
Hershey
time.
factory.
One time.
Yeah, see, even you got to go.
Yeah, my first
from
time.
Uxbridge?
No.
A field trip from fucking Uxbridge? Guess what, Uxbridge kids? We're going to Smiths Falls to get some chocolate.
No, when we first started dating and I don't know if it probably was 2007 summer. I came here to visit my first trip, and it was just before the Hershey factory shut down. So I got to go in and we got a big bag of the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, everybody gets a big bag.
And then
I want my fucking big bag of chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry's.
The Broken O. Henry's was my jam, and your jam was the Reese's Pieces.
I'm going to Balkburn tomorrow.
I just eat as many as I could till I feel sick, and then I'd be good for a while. Yeah. I wouldn't need to do that again.
That was a nice trip, though. And the movie theater was still here. We went to a movie, and we had dinner at My Place restaurant. And
I love My Place.
Yeah.
They're 2 doors down.
Yeah.
They're good stuff. Shout out My Place.
Have you eaten there recently?
Oh, yeah. We eat at My Place.
They're still going.
All the time.
Yeah.
I feel like they close early.
I've seen you in front of My Place while I was picking up.
Yeah, that's why I looked at you there, because the last time I remember witnessing them being open, I don't know, man. I walk by places and I never know these days.
Yeah,
it's COVID, and I see the lights off, and I'm like, oh, I hope those are coming back on. I have no other reason to think anything else. It's just
you have to get your order in by 5, and hot tip, the gypsy platter. It's a little bit of everything. It's real good. That's our usual.
Would love to try that. Mm-hmm. Sounds right up my alley. I always get the Hungry Man breakfast.
Oh yeah,
have you had the Lockmaster's breakfast?
No, I've been into.
It's a solid go at a breakfast for
a
sure.
Good fare.
Yeah. You got beans with it. They give you ham, sausage, and bacon, and beans.
This is becoming a food show.
And sautéed mushrooms.
Sounds delightful.
Eggs. I get the rye toast.
It's everything. It's everything you need.
A lot of good eggs around here. Lucky. A lot of good people growing. Maybe we'll get eggs here in town, but honestly, we don't even need chickens here. There's so many farmers.
Yeah.
With eggs around. But that whole chicken debate's another one.
So what's with this whole Cope Luwak shit?
What?
Cope Luwak?
Oh, the one.
Tell me about that. What's the deal with that?
I don't know much about it. I know that the animal eats it and they poop it out.
They're like a civet, right? It's like some kind of
rodent, a bird. I don't know. It's too expensive.
It's like a cat-like raccoon.
Man. It's like $60 a pound or something like that. Like green beans. That's a lot.
So this cat eats the coffee beans.
Yeah.
And then people walk around, they collect this poop and make coffee out of it.
Apparently, it's the shit. Yeah,
Literally.
that's the One day we can hope.
$60 a pound. That's
One day we can hope to have the shit coffee, but till then,
What are some other crazy varieties of coffee?
I think the cool thing about coffee now is that they're doing a lot more experimentation on the farms with the fermentation. So you pick the coffee off the tree, right? It's like a cherry. And then sometimes the farmers just like sell that. They like, bunch all that up and sell that for a super cheap price. And then other farmers who have a little more infrastructure, they can do some more stuff with it, different stuff with it.
Adding value to it.
Adding, more value. And there's, more and more farms are finding that they can sell directly to roasters like me in the market, and that they can, make more money than just selling their cherry or selling it, one grade below that. So on the farm, things like honeyed process where they let the bean ferment for, 48 hours, 72 hours, and, the complexity changes and you get a lot more fruity notes out of it. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, we had a good two honey process that we had. It's like a summer special this year that you brought in.
Yeah, I tried one of those.
The red and the white.
They were delightful.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, they're from Costa Rica, from V&G Farms. And the white honey was a little less fermented than the red honey. And the red honey was the real crowd pleaser. Like that one was a nice full body, and it was just a light roast. You just had to you didn't have to roast it as dark to get nice, full flavors out of it. And so it turned out really well. The white honey was delightful as well. Just, not quite as nice, but that also went really quick. So.
The honeyed process uses less water in its processing, right?
Yeah, and there's different methods. The honeyed, the natural method of processing and the washed method are the two main different ones. And the natural method uses a lot less water than the washed, and but it's a little more labor intensive. So, a bit of a difference there.
So does that make it like a more environmentally friendly coffee because it uses less water? Or
I think in some contexts it could be, but maybe not in all contexts. But I do have.
I guess it depends on how you define environment too.
Yeah, and what environment is in what coffee, because it would change from place to place. In some place they might have like a ton of water, and it's just like, well, we live on the water, and there's water everywhere. Yeah, we're not going to use it because it's it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
My house is flooded.
Yeah. So does the coffee industry have any notable carbon footprint? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. From the shipping and the roasting, there's a footprint there for sure.
There's also there's like a water footprint too, of how much water is used to produce I don't even know what the statistic is. It's somewhere though, of how much water goes into producing a cup of coffee. And it's it's a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everything we do.
I'm not going to make up a statistic though, so I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah. It's all one, So it does have, but it's a huge industry. So, and there's good players and there's bad ones. I think the people in Elmont, they're not just outside of Elmont, the Fluid Roastery, they're doing some really cool things. They've been open for a little while, and they've got a solar operation there, and they import some good beans and they roast too. So they're kind of doing some. So
they do solar roasting?
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
How's that work?
Well, I don't know. You have to go there. You have to check them out. Check out Fluid. But there's a lot of different players and different effects of coffee and different ways of making coffee from the farmer's perspective, and then from my perspective too, whether it's cappuccinos, lattes, espressos.
Yeah, I mean, the roasting, if you're talking about sustainability, the roasting part is only really the part that happens at the very end. There's a lot of things that happen from the seed to the bean getting to us here in Smiths Falls, that have, a broader social and environmental impact in terms of labor and environmental inputs and externalities. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. The roasting part is pretty small piece.
Yep. I'm just a little guy doing my thing. But, they say in yoga, you can go infinitely inward and you can also go infinitely outward. So even the smallest space can be explored, infinitely.
That's deep.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's a big part of what we're trying to do is we acknowledge that we're just a small little bit at the end. And so that we're trying to make sure that what we're bringing into Smiths Falls and what we're roasting is something that we can feel good about drinking ourselves, and like something that we know has gone through folks who have similar sort of ideas of what makes a good cup of coffee in terms of the ethics. It's not like the thing is like ethical sort of coffee, sustainability, these kinds of words used to be they used to be like radical, and they used to be something that was very like anti-capitalist. And then the thing is, when something starts picking up and it starts making money, then capitalism kind of like folds that on in. And so then you get like McDonald's and Tim Hortons and all these, and like Starbucks, all these big corporations using words like sustainable and ethical, but not being traceable at all. And they just say it in their branding and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, and it's like, oh, we bring in all fair trade. It's like, yeah, but you're bringing in all like Starbucks, for example, and like no tea, no shade here. But, they say like we use fair trade coffee, but then fair trade, like I was saying before, it just ensures like a minimum ethical requirement. There's no pushing that forward or trying to like pay farmers even more or do more environmentally. It's sort of maintaining that minimum. And I think Tim Hortons has their own ethical standards and program that and farms and stuff that they work it with. And it's not as traceable. But anyways, what we're trying to do is like, we're working with small scale importers that are fairly local. And then then they work with farmers directly and are doing some like really cool programming and long-term investments in the communities and in the farms and farmers themselves. So that to us is like what actually like well-sourced ethical coffee is. And it means we pay quite a bit more for our beans, but we feel good about the decisions we're making that way.
Yeah. I think small business is the cure to the problem that we're in. I think the capitalist problem. I think we need to support our small businesses in town, and the big businesses that are owned by other people, like outside of, all that money goes away, goes out, and it doesn't make any sense. And those big businesses, there's a lot of things that go south about them. So a lot of problems.
But we're still capitalists as local businesses, right?
Yeah, I'm a pro-capitalist. Just do it right. Don't,
different version of it.
Yeah, treat people correctly, and you don't have to. When things get too big, it gets a little.
I like to use the term like more than capitalist. So it's like our business isn't just about the capitalist bottom line of like making money. Mm-hmm. It's like you can infuse the project of like earning a livelihood with like dignity for others to also earn a livelihood. Like it's not just about our bottom line, but it's about pursuing values and pursuing things like environmental sustainability, like actually sustainability though, and pursuing relationships and community building. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can infuse that are like values. And there's a philosophical reason for that behind what we're doing. So it's not just like capitalism is just like, how do I make the most amount of money off of this? And capitalism relies on exploiting labor and exploiting environmental resources. And so it's like, yes, I guess we are in that system, but it's more than capitalist.
I like that.
Yeah. There's some really great, there's a feminist, it's actually two feminist geographers, Gibbs and Graham, who they combine their names and they work together. I think one of them has passed away. Anyways, Gibbs and Graham have this concept of the community economy where they engage in a lot of thinking around how you can construct sort of these smaller scale community economies, like economies that do make money and and can provide livelihoods for folks. And then we can all thrive together. And but it doesn't. And you can make money, but you can also thrive with everybody and make sure that people are supported and do a good thing for the environment and the folks around you. Yeah.
Focus on local.
Yeah. I mean, we have to, like in a coffee business, we have to rely on a bean, a product that comes, or a natural resource that comes from the global south necessarily. So, I mean, we can't grow local coffee beans, but we can ensure that those practices and processes are transparent and that they are ethical and that farmers are getting paid more than what fair trade would call a fair price or basement bottom sort of level. It's like, no, it's more than that. And we're investing in their farms and in their future and trying to create something that's long term and predictable for the farmers. Yeah.
So is it just flat out impossible to grow coffee beans here?
Yes.
In a word, yes, it's impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What makes it so impossible?
I think it's the temperature. Maybe someone would get away with doing some of the Robusta bean here, which is like you can grow it at lower altitudes and it's got twice the amount of caffeine. They make instant coffee from it.
Oh.
I got some of it. And maybe some of that in a greenhouse. I don't know. I bet you could do something in a greenhouse, but typically coffee is grown at really high altitudes. And, so picture Honduras and Costa Rica.
Right.
High in the Andes in Peru. Stuff like that.
What is it about the high altitude? Is there a little less moisture? Because those are all like real rainforesty countries, right?
I think at the higher altitudes, it has to do with how the plant grows, and the bean tends to get denser at the higher altitudes. And so the denser the bean, the more packed in all that good stuff is. And so you get a really nice, tight bean.
But I mean, it's because it's a high altitude plant, it's like very much being impacted by climate change.
Yeah.
Though, and changing climate, and there's a lot of like leaf rust and like all kinds of things that are happening and are creating like unpredictability for folks working in like the farmers and the producers in those places.
Yeah, this year there was a big frost in Brazil, drove the price way up. So that was a big environmental issue. And I think at the same time,
it's like looking at the long run of the coffee industry. I think with climate change it's a bit scary for everybody involved.
I've heard a little bit about that. I don't know a lot, but I've heard that there's kind of scary times that there's a lot of crops dying.
Yeah, like lots of different crops, but coffee I think is sensitive. It's especially susceptible just because it is like a high altitude. So like as the things warm up and I don't know, altitudes will if they need the high altitude for certain reasons, then that's definitely impacted by climate change.
Yeah.
Things warming up.
I think the smaller farmers as well, they plant different species, and so that helps. I think when you have massive farms and the monoculture, then the disease spreads through a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert on coffee growing.
Just coffee roasting.
Coffee roasting. Yeah, definitely.
Do they ever, because they're beans, right? Mm-hmm. Do they ever make use of like sprouting within any of the processes? Like they do that, like that's like malted barley, right? Like when they make a whiskey, like they sprout it first.
Yeah.
Is that a seed though? Or is that, because the coffee bean is not a seed?
It's a seed. For sure, it's a seed.
I'm not the coffee guy. That's the coffee guy.
You are not the coffee guy. It is definitely a seed.
So you could potentially like malt it
and sprout it. Yes, I think that's true.
And then it would be more sugary when you roasted it.
Yeah, we're deep in this podcast, so I don't think anyone's going to call me on it. But
we could try it.
Sprouted coffee.
Well, I'll try it. I'll look up. I'm
going to look it up right now.
Yeah, get into it because I always thought
I've got a Google machine right here
about growing a coffee plant. But we've had a coffee plant in our house actually, didn't we?
Oh, I bought it at IKEA.
Yeah, that's a real coffee plant. Yeah. And it can grow large, but it just
did not fruit for us.
It won't fruit. It's just like you can have a mango tree in your house in Canada, but
yeah, there's people doing it. Sprouted coffee, because I know they make. My mother-in-law and my mother both are always bringing around this sprouted bread, made from sprouted grains. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's better for you. It's called Ezekiel.
Oh,
apparently, it was encouraged to make bread from sprouted grains in the Bible.
I've seen these at the grocery store. Yeah. Ezekiel.
Yeah. People apparently gives less problems to people with gluten
Right.
sensitivities.
That makes sense.
You got to find what works for you.
Sometimes I eat entire meals of just gluten.
Hey, we're a big pasta family. We love making pasta.
I mean like pure gluten though.
Oh, like
gluten flour?
like wheat meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Satan. Satan. Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know. I just like to say it like that. Satan meat tonight, darling.
Yeah. I got a good recipe for that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like pure gluten.
It is.
We used to do that. Like we used to make like faux chicken wings and stuff.
Yeah.
It wreaks havoc
when we
on
weren't
me, though.
eating meat, but there's so much gas that comes
There's
out
so
of
much
your body.
gas. Yeah.
Yeah, I handle it fine.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I
Good
love
for
that
you.
shit.
It's filling. Actually, when I was planting, it was great because we'd have it in the morning, and I'd take one of those, like this brick of our camp cook Meg. She made a schnitzel
Beautiful
out
Meg.
of it, and
Best.
something like that. And there was other things with sausages, but it was tough on for the aromatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say the least.
Especially because we lived in a tent.
One sleeping bag,
Yeah.
aka the fart sack.
Yeah, I was vegetarian for a few years, and
Yeah,
so I really liked that stuff. I didn't like tofu. I mean, I did like tofu, but I liked tofu when it was tofu and not trying to be like
Yes.
tofu dogs or tofurkey or chicken tofu and stuff, because it just tasted like weird processed soy in those cases to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, totally.
But like just nicely fried tofu, pepper salt tofu.
Ooh.
It's like deep fried tofu.
Yep.
Yum, 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 yum.
That sounds delightful.
We're back to the food podcast again.
Oh, we bounce around. We'll go from coffee to food and to yoga. We haven't talked much about yoga. You're pretty deep into yoga, right, Jarryd?
Yeah, that time when I was in India, I was doing an undergrad in yoga studies, and so that was pretty good. I did a couple teacher trainings as well, and did some studying, some personal study, and and I taught here in Smiths Falls when we moved here for a couple of years up until the pandemic started.
That's actually when I first met you.
Yeah, at the first Rise Yoga Fest.
The only real.
Well, this year I would say it was a rousing success. There was,
but it was like a weekly event, right?
Yeah. This was like new, different format, but
The attendance was excellent.
excellent. Like a lot of people came out every time.
That's great.
To that. Yeah, it was like 40, 60, sometimes even more.
Awesome.
Yeah, fabulous. But so I've done a little bit of teaching, just people, and a little bit of studying.
Just people? You're not doing goat yoga or?
No.
You used to do
Baba
yoga
yoga.
in here.
Yeah, in this very room, actually.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I would stand. I would stand where you are, actually, to teach a class. I wouldn't stand here.
Now I'm in charge.
Yeah, I knew you're running the show here. You touch your toes.
I'm not sure I can. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, you got to be good with where you are. You're perfect exactly how you are, but you could use some work. That's an old Zen saying, I think.
Right. Mr. Rogers, he should. He left off that end part.
Yeah.
Do you do yoga, Josie?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just not quite as avid?
Yeah, I'm more of like a hunch at my desk all day kind of gal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Mm-hmm. I'm more like one of those too.
It's like anti-yoga. It's like hunch forward, round the shoulders.
Yeah.
I should do yoga is the answer to that question. I should do it more, but
Yeah. It is. It's been a great practice for me, for especially around these times. Good stress reliever and nice constructive way to
So
deal with stuff.
What is yoga?
Yoga, like a lot of people start with the definition of just being of union. Yoga.
That's what the word yoga means?
coming
Union?
from the word to yoke together with the divine. You hear that a lot. But so it's definitely an old tradition of
Sorry, did you say from
self-mastery.
the yoke?
Yoke.
Yoke?
Yoke as in the reins on a horse.
I see.
I think. Anyway.
Isn't the yoke the thing that goes across like the oxen necks?
No, the yoke to bind something together, coming together. To look that one up. In any case, yoga is it's been practiced throughout the ages in different forms.
A wooden cross piece that is fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to the plow cart so that they are pulling together.
Is there another definition?
I was correct.
Is there another definition? Anyway. Yeah.
It doesn't stop at people geography.
No way.
Animal geography too.
Knows it all.
That was just Google right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the yoga that we do here, the physical practice is one thing for sure. Like that was started in like last century, kind of a fitness thing that began, and like the movement of the body, structured into a class.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a relatively new phenomenon of yoga. And then, before that, there were people who renounced the world, those wandering monks, the sadhus, and they were practicing yoga as well, practicing austerities and different postures and breathing techniques. And they were doing yoga as well.
So were they monks who did yoga, or were they monks because of the yoga they did?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe both.
They were like yoga monks?
Sure. And then if you were a householder and you did yoga all the time, then you were very devout in your life. You were a good person, and you're doing yoga there too.
So what is the line between yoga and religion?
Good question.
Well,
You should explain the three: the Gyan, Bhakti.
Yeah. I guess like yoga is the method, of getting together with the one, with the eternal spirit, with God, however you want to define that. With Krishna, with Shiv. But the thing, so the thing about religion is the yoga grew in that context of Hinduism. So it's a method within that structure, but you could use that method, you could use yoga in Christianity as well. So I think yoga is kind of the practice, I guess, that's combined with religion, the action, if you will, and the devotion.
Yeah, like
and the knowledge of it.
It didn't develop like in a vacuum, independent of like politics and religion and everything. Like it's all intermeshed.
But from my understanding is like there's practices of yoga, and they combine that in a religion, or you combine that in, it doesn't have to be religion. It could be, your secular life. But if you're practicing, good things, and you're, good habits, good physical and mental, habits. You're doing yoga.
Niyams.
Yams and niyams are an example of that, or like the Eightfold Noble Path in Buddhism, or the Ten Commandments in Christianity. I think it all kind of runs together, right?
I see.
But I
think I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say, not this is like a direct parallel, but I mean, I could say I'm going to pray,
mm-hmm.
and that could mean a certain thing, but that would apply to any religion.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I could pray in any religion, so I could do yoga. I could practice yoging.
Yeah, you could
in
yoga.
any religion.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, for sure.
Am I getting it?
Yeah, definitely. Like if you're a Christian, you can practice yoga. And the thing too that people are practicing are often just the practices that the teacher is presenting them with. And sometimes those teachings have come from, a person who's had a gymnast, who's worked through their body and is able to show you things, a teacher in that way. Or maybe it's, a person like me who's just a guy who's interested in the body and has, lots of experience in doing different stretches and things like that.
You've had a lot of experience in being really inflexible and working really hard.
The unflexible dude who got more flexible is kind of like my trope, So you can learn from a lot of different people. Some people pronounce themselves as gurus and that they have a sacred lineage, and some of those people are probably true, and some of them might not be. But
Some of those people might be sexual predators.
some of them, yeah.
So what's the
definitely
governing
were.
body for calling yourself a guru?
That's there isn't, right?
Fair trade gurus?
No, there isn't, and that's kind of one of the cool things about Hinduism is that it's not like it's not a big institution,
Yeah.
you know, and like the Catholic Church or even a lot of other old Christian churches, it's a hierarchy, and like it seems like there are institutions there in the Hindu world, and it gets very political. Obviously.
Extremely politicized.
Right. But there are a lot of different factions, different gurus who pop up and go down over the years. And that's kind of like how it is, it seems.
So one can self-proclaim themselves a guru.
Yeah, for sure.
What about a yogi? Is there some sort of minimum requirement for calling yourself a yogi?
Not these days. These days, for sure.
What does that traditionally mean? Somebody who teaches it?
I think
So it means
my
somebody who's
teacher
mastered it?
I asked my teacher that one time, and he said someone who's reached samadhi, like the highest, someone who's spiritual enlightenment, self identification with the divine, some good stuff. But to do that work, often people put in many years. You know what I mean? It's like your job is that's what your job is to like do yoga for 8 to 10 hours a day, and you like a lot of so there's a lot of sacrifices that those people make who are gurus because they do a lot of service. They're seeing people constantly, and some of them have to do their practices. Yeah. Anyway,
The first time I ever heard of yoga or a yogi was when they had a yogi on this show when I was a kid called, it was called something like How'd They Do That? Or something like that. This guy crawled into a tiny little glass box, folded himself up.
yeah.
It was unbelievable. That was my first experience with a yogi.
I think my first experience was when my uncle did a headstand in our living room. He was like, "It's because of yoga." I'm like, "Oh, interesting."
You ever heard that song Elvis sings about yoga?
No.
It's like an anti-yoga song.
Oh,
Elvis has an anti-yoga song.
I didn't know that.
really?
It's from one of his shitty movies.
Yeah. Making that money. Get that bag, Elvis.
Yeah, you can YouTube it.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Elvis yoga.
Yeah.
He even tries a couple poses in the music video.
Does he fold himself into a glass box?
No,
That's
no. He's no yogi,
No.
but he can move.
Mm-hmm.
He could. You like Elvis? Elvis person or a Beatles person?
Definitely Beatles, if
Beatles?
it's a comparison. Yeah,
I like them both.
for sure. They're both. I haven't really spent the time with Elvis that I have with the Beatles.
Well, the Beatles were the songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, that's what the movie's really all about, the strength of their songwriting more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Which Beatle are you? If you had to be a Beatle,
Like,
if you had to be
If
one,
you-
or
if I had
which
to
one
be
do you,
one,
which one do you
if-
like the most?
Which one do I
Oh, yeah.
I like the most, or
Which
which one
one-
do I feel is the most me?
yeah, that one.
That
one.
I honestly don't know. I think probably I'd be either more of a George or a Ringo myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm a Lennon or a McCartney.
Yeah,
How about you?
yeah. I think I'd have to go with George. Yeah, he likes yoga, unlike Elvis.
Was he a big yoga guy?
Oh yeah, he was a big yoga guy.
We went to the ashram where the Beatles stayed during our first trip to India.
Mm.
It's like all abandoned and overgrown. It's
Yeah,
kinda
in
cool,
Rishikesh. Yeah, it was neat.
It's cool to see.
And check it out. But
It's cool to see like the old footage of when they were there, and it was pretty crazy. And then to go there, and it's just like this abandoned old compound, basically.
Yeah, I think the guru went to jail. I think that's what happened there.
Yeah, interesting.
Guru jail?
Yeah, I don't know, just regular jail.
Just regular jail. Not a special. How did gurus fare in prison? They do okay in
don't
prison?
know. Don't know.
Yeah.
They're probably fine. They probably do well. Yeah.
Just influence.
They're good at influencing and manipulating people.
Become the prison guru.
There's a movie there.
The prison guru. You ever see The Love Guru with Mike Myers?
Yes. Yes, I've seen every Mike Myers movie.
I never saw that one.
It's pretty good.
Is it? Is it good?
I don't know. There's a lot you watched yesterday, so You should give Love Guru a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a Vox article told me I'm not allowed to like that movie.
Yeah, there might be issues with it.
It hasn't aged well.
I don't remember it. I watched Austin Powers a million times when we were younger. But
I rewatched the Austin Powers movies, and they seem to age okay. Maybe. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I think they probably could because I mean they were making fun of the 60s and the 90s.
Yeah.
So they were already sort of flipping it on its head. So it's like those have survived well because if anything, we're just making fun of boomers more these days, right? So yeah, it's going to age well.
Yeah, everyone needs a good ribbing.
But there was another Mike Myers movie, I think, that didn't age well. Can't remember whether there's something in Wayne's World. I know people have complained about Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
Yeah. Some transphobia there for sure. Yep. It's an interesting time, and it's good to reflect on our speech, reflect on our actions. Try and be better people.
Yeah.
Listen to some people whose voices haven't been heard. It's a good thing to do. I'm all on board with this stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't even know what we're still doing right now that we're going to learn 20 years from now was just not okay.
Yeah.
My mom didn't have a car seat when she was a kid. The fuck was that? They didn't have seat belts.
Yeah.
They didn't have seat belts.
No. I've seen lots of kids on the back of motorcycles. I've seen like a 5-person family, 3 kids, one in the front. The father's got the baby, and then the mother is in the back. There's one more kid in there somewhere too.
Or she's holding like a microwave on her lap.
Yeah.
There's these kids.
They're doing what they have to do to survive, man.
There's these kids on my street building a ramp, a giant
we've seen
wooden
that.
launch ramp. It's got nails and screws
It's pretty
sticking out
tall.
of
The
it
thing was
in every
fierce.
direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just out there shirtless, helmetless,
Oh yeah.
shoeless half the time, I think.
Yeah, I saw it today. It was taken down. It was in shambles, completely taken down. But I think we saw it at its height.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the height of Rome, right there. It's
I've
like,
been watching
we
them
rule
all,
the world.
I've been watching them all summer. That's what it culminated to because it started with like they lay a board down this front stairs. And we're riding their bikes down the board, down the stairs. And then they added a piece at the end of the curb with like a little launch. It was just like a board on top of a
Remember
2x4.
they had the wood. It was like wood on the sidewalk with a log underneath it, and I was a little pissy about it because it was just on the sidewalk, and it was like this is an accessibility issue. Anyways,
Kids.
Kids.
It reminded me of the 80s. I haven't seen shit
good.
like that in a while.
It was good. I don't think
Nails
anyone
sticking
got
out of
hurt,
wood.
and it's a good street to do it on. I hope the kids are safe. But yeah, I had fun with it. I didn't call anyone.
I took pictures.
Yeah.
Not to like do anything with.
Post to
other than just
Facebook and
make a meme out of or something.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
yeah, for sure. It's good. I know that I was doing the exact same thing. I hope I was anyway.
I think the ones I built usually just like collapsed as soon as my bike hit them. I think that happened to these kids too. Good on them.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So what are you looking forward to in town? The pandemic is, you were saying, but I can't remember if I had even hit record yet, but you were saying you think we're only halfway through this shit?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you might be right, but I feel like the second half is going to be like
better. The first half was kind of like Christmas, though, and that was
the first
exciting.
the first bit.
well, no, yeah, like
I got
there's
old
more
fucking fast,
uncertainty.
man.
It did, but it was a good couple of weeks.
I'm done with Christmas after a week when it's actual Christmas.
Yeah, but yeah, I've heard some epidemiologists speak on the CBC, and they have some insightful things to say. And you look at what was the last big pandemic we had, or was it the epidemic? Was it the Black Plague?
I mean, it depends what you're
What are you talking
quantifying as big. But I think like 100 years ago there was a pretty big the Spanish flu.
Or the Spanish flu,
Flu
that's the
pretty
one.
big.
The Spanish flu,
yeah.
And so the effects of that takes a few years, economically and then of course socially, And so it's going to take a little bit of time for sure. So.
I think it was Singapore or something I heard recently, like, changed their status from pandemic to endemic.
Yeah, I mean, so did Alberta, right?
Did they?
Well, they did, and everything has gone a bit sideways. In Alberta again, they had to reintroduce, some of the masking and social distancing, and all that stuff, those health precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
So-
there's a lot of, it's uncertain and we don't know
everything's
what's going to
uncertain, yeah,
happen, but at
yeah.
least like uncertainty's become more of just like the norm.
and then also to remember too, we are in one of these countries too that has a lot of vaccines in people's bodies. Things are going really well here in terms of the numbers, and so that's good for an inside culture like us.
Like friends and family members of colleagues of mine overseas are still like getting sick, and it's I don't know. Even with vaccines, people are still getting sick. It's just you're not getting as sick, and whatever. It's still going, and we just have to. The question though was, what are we looking forward to? What are we looking forward to in Smiths Falls?
I'm looking forward to the cold water. That's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Cold water.
Go
guy.
for some more swims.
Yes, going for some dips.
Did anybody ever join you?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah.
When?
A guy named Rob from Manotick
Yeah.
joined in.
Did he last?
Yeah. Oh, he was in there. He was a seasoned vet. He was good.
Nice.
In my first year doing it, Andrew Howard came with me, Rob McLaren, for a little bit, just a quick dip. But yeah, not usually. A lot of times I like to do, go for a run and then jump in. Or if I'm going in the winter, it's not a big show. It's just, going in for the effects of it. How it changes your body, which is really cool. Just bit by bit, of course, taking it slow, but the cold can be very healing in my experience, and so I enjoy it. And then also just kind of like a nervous system reset, and a fun little excursion.
I went into ice water like that once. I was doing that thing where you try and ski across it at the bottom of the ski hill. They have like
Yes.
it was like 50 feet long.
Yeah,
It turns out it's a lot easier to actually do that on skis because they're so skinny,
Right.
versus a snowboard,
Oh, yeah,
which
no
is what I
chance.
was on. And I didn't even make it very far.
because you can't lean back. On skis, you can kind of get down. You can get down.
Yeah.
So you can't do that on a board.
Yeah. There's sort of like chunks of ice floating everywhere. It was, shockingly cold.
End of the day, right there. Did you go back up ski lift?
No. I went right inside and sat by the fire. Sat by a big fire.
Yeah, I would have been by that fire the whole time. There would have been no cold water skiing.
You do any winter sports?
Do I do any winter sports? I like to skate. I like to skate a little bit.
Yeah.
In figure skates specifically, I like to skate.
Were you a figure skater?
I mean, until I was like 13. I stopped when I was in high school, but I like to skate.
For some reason, I feel like I know that you figure skated. What about you, Jarryd? You ski or snowboard?
Yep. Ski.
Oh, we always ski.
Yeah, we both ski as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, downhill ski.
Like Jarryd grew up skiing, and I learned how to ski when I was like 30. So I go to the ski hill and I ski the easier routes.
Where do you guys go? You go around here? Go to Pakenham?
Yeah,
Calabogie?
Pakenham, Calabogie, or into Fortune, Edelweiss,
Yep.
around Ottawa, Cascades.
Yep.
That's where I grew up going.
Nice.
Mont Saint Marie, little Tremblant.
Yep. I used to teach at Camp Fortune. Taught snowboarding there, and I taught snowboarding at Cascade.
Camp Fortune used to have that sweet lip underneath the chairlift. You remember that guy?
Yep.
I'd come down and bomb that thing and get huge air.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
Yeah. It was
You
a
could-
really good hill.
Yeah, you could
Really
huck
good
that
hill.
thing. Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, I like sports. Basketball, hockey. Yeah, it's one thing to do around here in Smiths Falls. We have really great facilities, great hockey.
Yeah, especially for hockey.
Yeah, it's nice.
2 arenas
Yeah.
right beside one another. One for the kids, one for the bigger people.
One day I hear there's going to be a basketball court there too,
Yeah.
indoor.
Are you just willing that into fruition?
Yeah, starting
Putting
a
that into
rumor.
the universe
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, a
It's
municipal
going to be a
basketball
Mighty Valley
court.
coffee shop and also
I think
Mighty Valley
indoor
basketball
basketball.
courts.
I think they might be. There's this deal. They're working. The basketball court and the coffee shop are connected,
somehow.
and so yeah. We'll see. I just heard a rumor. Basketball court. They got the 2019 Raptors championship floor. I'm just gonna put that in.
Just going to put that in.
You a Raptors fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big time.
huge Raptors fan. Yep, season's coming up. I'm looking forward to that.
How many NBA teams does Canada have now?
Just one.
Just the one?
Just the one. Yeah.
Wasn't there another one that was supposed to happen?
Yeah. Vancouver failed. Moved to Memphis.
So they did
Unfortunately.
happen.
Yeah, it was there at the start. It was, Vancouver and Toronto at the start.
They both started the same year?
Same year. Yeah. The
How long did
expansion
Vancouver
draft.
last?
Like 5 or 6 years. I don't know. Not too long. Once they drafted Big Country Reeves, it was pretty much done. But I don't know. It just didn't work out. Although I think it could really work out now in Vancouver. It's a great sports city, and the NBA is just huge.
Have the Raptors won a championship yet?
Come on, man. Yeah, of course. 2019.
I couldn't remember whether they won it.
Everyone remembers where they were when the Raptors won that championship.
I don't. I went to one of the games too. I went to Boston Pizza with Andrew Howard.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Oh, we were there.
I was there too.
Yeah, we were at the other end of the table.
Yeah, that was Game 5. That was when Kevin Durant hurt himself. I high-fived Nick Ritchie. I feel bad about that for Kevin Durant. I'm happy that we won. It was a sweet high five. Yeah, it'll be exciting. They're not in championship contention this year, as predicted, but they've got some nice players, and I've been a Raptors fan for a while, so I just enjoy watching basketball. Whoever's playing. Yeah, be it DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, or Andrea Bargnani. And Raptors fans will get that joke.
So, you got any new coffees coming up?
I do, actually. I have a coffee coming in from Guatemala. I'm going to pick it up. I was a bit delayed, and I'm pretty excited about that. It's first time we've had this coffee. I sampled it a couple months ago.
It's from Samia.
From Samia Coffee.
In Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal. And it's cool because these coffee farmers are, doing something different in Guatemala. It's my first time. I'm not super familiar with the project, but...
Have you ever been down to those parts? Central America?
Not Central America.
I've been south, but not central.
Yeah, we visited Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia in 2010 and 11, but not Central America. So I think in this particular project, they're standing up against mining. They're a Canadian mining company, actually.
Indigenous land defenders, and they're defending themselves against mining. And I think there is a Canadian mining company involved in that as well. So
yeah, and so we're happy to bring in this coffee. It's awesome coffee, and it's from farmers who are trying to make a livelihood and maintain land, and not have it just mined.
So is that going to be a new bag?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New stickers?
Yeah. New bag, new sticker. I'm trying to think of a name for it. I've got some ideas floating around, so there'll be a grand release on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to try it first. We've got some ideas, but we want to...
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to play with the roast a bit first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Find the ideal situation.
Yeah. But honestly, I kind of roast, I just kind of do it like a city roast to a full city roast right now. I don't have a large spectrum, kind of from like a medium to medium dark.
Mm-hmm.
And partly just because I like the way that tastes. And when you buy nice beans and you roast them super dark, sometimes you don't get some of the nice flavors.
Mm-hmm.
It all just tastes like char.
Yeah, it just tastes like char. So I want to bring out the really nice flavors in the coffee. So kind of like that city roast, the full city roast, you kind of get the full flavor of the bean with a nice caramelization of it. So we'll see. It'll be might be a little darker or a little lighter, but...
So
I want to be lighter.
Yeah.
If somebody out there were looking to step into the world of wanting to up their coffee game, like you're talking to somebody who's got like a big jar of Maxwell House.
Yeah.
Pre-ground Maxwell House, and they put it in the coffee filter.
For sure.
And that's how they make their coffee every morning. But they're thinking, I had this coffee after dinner at the Italian restaurant, and man, was it good.
Yeah.
How can I make my morning experience more like that? What are the best rules to follow? You want the whole beans because then you're grinding them away, right? You get you get that release from the bean.
For sure. But if we're talking about just that person who wants to step up from their percolator, then I would say just try and find a fresh bag of beans, like freshly roasted, within a week. Or within 2 weeks.
Within a couple of months even. Because a lot of this...
it's still good. But
Yeah.
if you've never done it before and you're also looking for ground coffee, as this person is, so that's why I say even less time, just for that experience, to step it up. So if you have like a really fresh cup of coffee, then that makes a big difference. And so that's what I would say to that person is just try a super freshly roasted coffee. And my coffee has the roasted on date.
Yeah. A lot of coffees will have the best before.
The expiration date.
Yeah. And that doesn't really tell you much.
Right.
Roasted on, it was roasted.
So do you sell any ground at this point, or are you doing all whole
I do
bean?
a garden market. Garden market has asked me to deliver them ground. And on my website too, if you order from the website, I'll grind it for you. And when I'm at the farmers markets, I'll grind it for you. But a lot of people who buy my coffee, they grind it at home because they have grinders. So that's step 2.
Yeah.
Invest in a grinder.
Invest in a grinder. Mm-hmm. And that's how you can up your coffee game to a next level. And there are many different grinders. I know it sounds crazy, but investing in a grinder that's like $200 or $300 might be a good idea, or even $4 or $5, because you might have it. Just go with one of those old technology grinders, a nice burr grinder.
Yeah. And
that little kitchen appliance will last many, many years, 10 years, 15 years. Grinders are very hardy. But
$500 though.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
You don't just spend $500. You can spend $150.
My little Black and Decker one cost me like $15 on sale.
Yeah,
it's been
the Budbuster.
It's been going a good decade, at least.
Probably use some marijuana in that thing too.
Well, I have a separate one for that.
Yeah, because it is good for that.
You don't want to cross the flavors, unless you do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can get hand grinders
doing that now
as well for cheaper, like that do really nice, like ceramic burr grinders.
Yeah.
But it's time consuming, and but they're like $50 or something, $40 or $50. But even the little
The blade grinder,
the herb grinder, then it is good for French presses. But if you're doing your pots of coffee, it's really tough to get consistency in it. So then you just got to mash the coffee, and then you make it powder into dust, and then that's not ideal for filter coffee. And the bean size isn't uniform too when you use that type of grinder, and so you're not getting the best qualities out of the bean. So that's why. So then I guess getting a really nice grinder is level 3. Is going that level 3.
But you can get a burr grinder for like $100.
Yeah, you can, and then that makes a big difference too.
So does it? What's special about a burr grinder? Does it maintain a consistent grind?
Yeah, that's
what it does. It's not going to over pulverize.
Yeah, unless you need it to go super fine for espresso,
espresso
or Turkish coffee. But it's, even when you go super fine, it's going to be uniform, and so it's a nice extraction. So that's that. And I've even talked about ways to extract coffee. It's all about the grind. If you want to drink good coffee, then you got to grind it well.
Yeah, because I use that cheap grinder and I go into a French press.
Yeah.
That's my method.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That'll give you
fresh beans.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got a couple of steps there for sure, but there's room for improvement if you wanted to, but you don't need to.
So from Black and Decker grinder to burr grinder.
Yeah.
And from French press to what?
French press
is really good.
It's okay, but it tends to muddle all the flavors.
You just have to have the right kind of grind with it too.
Yeah. And so if you want something with a pour over, which is a cone, like a Chemex, a glass thing, that produces a little less body, a lighter body coffee. And so you might get some more finer details out of that, or even a smaller one, like a little V60 that would go over the cup, and pour over. So that'd be fun. Or an espresso machine. And so you can pour yourself shots, and then you get a lot of different complex flavors from the coffee.
I have a Nespresso.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those?
I'm not a supporter. It's a good, nice business model because if you buy an espresso machine, then you have to buy an espresso coffee for the rest of your machine life. So it's nice for that. It's a subscription model. So yeah, it's very savvy. But I don't think it's great for the coffee world. It's a lot of waste and stuff like that. It's just let's keep coffee. We've only been doing coffee for 600 years as people, or even less, 500 years. So let's just kind of keep it to classics for now.
I don't use it much.
Yeah. Yeah. And espresso machines, Keurig machines, they're new things, but I don't think they're going to last because they're not like it's just kind of, it's like a fad, kitschy.
And I can get coffee on your website, you said.
Oh yeah, you can order it there.
Do you ship it?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
All over Canada.
Awesome.
Yeah, free shipping for over $50. $50 order. I'm selling 3 bags for $50. So
you packing it up and going to the mail post office yourself?
Yep. Just throwing it in there, in the box.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically all a one man.
It is. It's pretty much just me.
show.
Like, I am Mighty Valley Coffee.
How's the national reach been so far?
Well, I've shipped from coast to coast to coast. I can tell you that. So
Mostly to friends and family.
all friends and family. Yeah. We're only in our first, year of business, so taking it slow and things are going slow, and that's cool.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I like your coffee.
I like it too. It's a labor of love for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tasty.
Yeah, it's good. I partly got into this because I love coffee, and
It's because you spent a whole bunch of money on coffee equipment when we first bought our house because you wanted to have the perfect cup of coffee, and then you started roasting your own in a little pan, and then here we are.
And then popcorn roaster, and then another roaster.
So your real rabbit hole of coffee just coincided with you moving back to Smith Falls?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been. It wasn't a plan at all, but we had been visiting some.
So this is like one of those. Well, that escalated quickly.
Really.
Deals.
We'd been visiting some friends from Guelph who were living in Yellowknife, and so we were up there, and they had like a really baller espresso machine and a nice grinder, and they were making us some really nice cups of coffee there. And we just bought our house, like the offer had been accepted, and everything was going through, and so we were in that time between the purchase and the closing, and we were like, oh man, when we get that house, like we should use like tree planting. Like there was like, sometimes you'd have a big day at tree planting. I'd be like, oh, that was espresso machine day, or like whatever it is. So like we were like, okay, that'll be one of our special things. We'll get our house, we'll get a nice mattress, and we'll get an espresso grinder and machine just like theirs. And so that was part of the influence. Then we got it, and then we were trying to figure out beans, and then Jarryd was like, oh, I can buy green beans and then roast them myself, and then they'll be super fresh. And then it was, I think, a year later we started the coffee roaster, basically.
Well, it's just kind of an opportunity because there's not a whole lot of roasters around here, and I wanted to do something that I could really stand behind, and I thought this is a good opportunity to sell coffee and then create partnerships with other cool people doing cool programs, and a way to give a product to the town. And there's this old saying, watch what they say and watch what they sell. So I'm really confident though that I think we're doing some good things, and it's been fun learning about this whole process and uncovering some of the problems and trying to be part of the solution of it.
Yeah.
Give people good coffee. And then, there's only, with a couple of our coffees, there's only a couple of degrees of separation between us and the farmer, just our importer. And he goes down and works with them, personally, and then sets up with the exportation company and stuff like that. And we get these beans. And so it's like, and then so the money that I'm giving to him, he's telling me how much he's giving to the farmer. I'm like, that's awesome. That's a lot more than I know that some of the other farmers are getting for their coffee. Yeah,
like Brendan, I think it's like five to 6 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you'd get with like fair trade or something.
And honestly, no one gets into coffee to get rich from the farmer, even right up to the roaster. It's not that type of industry, but we can. Yeah, it's you can make a livelihood from it for sure.
You can live your rich life.
Yeah, you can live your rich life. However that is. So this is definitely part of my
I think Smith Falls is part of our rich life. Like we're happy in our neighborhood and our I don't know.
It's
starting
a nice
new
space.
business and having friends like you guys.
Well, where can the people in Smith Falls get the coffee? I know they can get it right here.
At the Arts Hub.
At the Arts Hub,
we sell
for
the
sure.
Coffee. We consider roasting an art.
Yeah, it is.
So we got you on our shelves.
Yeah.
Artisan roaster. So Say Two sells my coffee. They also have some on the espresso machine, and Bowie's and the Vault also serve our coffee. And then Garden Market, Up Wellness, and Anderson Independent Grocer here in town. Yeah, so I rounded a couple places. I was even at the Heritage House when it was open.
Nice.
It sold well. All sold. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of community support. So
You got some in over at Perth too?
yeah, we're in North Folk Cafe there. That spot is just really awesome. The folks at Artisan Kombucha as well also own North Folk Cafe, Dash and Seb, and they do a great job. And the baristas at the cafe do a good job pulling the coffee. So it's just like, you know that they're doing right by your roasting. And so I'm really happy by that.
And people can come get it at the brewery too, of course.
Oh yeah, you can buy it
down at the mall.
Hot tip, actually, the brewery is where usually the freshest coffee is, because I use that as a stockpile. That's where the freshest coffee goes first.
Do you ever give roastery tours?
No, not yet, because it's been
COVID.
it's been COVID, and
You
We'd
going
love
to though?
We'd love to do
Yeah.
like tours or do like cuppings
do
or
cupping.
tastings, like those kinds of things.
The brewery's a great spot to do that, But it's been a bit weird. So people can try every single coffee like back to back, and so you kind of can see the difference. Because when you have them all, just intermittently or occasionally, I guess I should say, then you don't really see the differences. But when you have, the Burundi bean back to back with the Honduras bean, you're like, well, these do taste quite different, because one's from Africa and one's from Central America, and they're different plant, like different species of the coffee plant. So that's really cool. And they do taste different. So yeah, we're looking forward to that stuff.
Now, if you were to brew me a coffee made from beans that were just fresh right out of the roaster, would it be an extra good coffee?
I actually want to let it sit for a little bit.
Because they're still roasting?
Well, no, they're like off gassing.
Right.
They're kind of changing.
Right.
So that's why they have the
oxidizing.
Yeah. The little
they're decanting.
The valves.
The valve on the back lets the air out.
Yeah.
And because you can't use freshly roasted beans on an espresso machine right away, because there's just so much air in there and it just pours right out. It's crazy. Right. But with that said, there are Ethiopian coffee ceremonies and things where they roast them up and then you drink it right away. And so it can be quite delightful. But there's also generally a waiting period after the roast. And sometimes dark roasts take a little bit longer to sit. I've had a dark roast that's been sitting for a couple of months and it's been like, oh, that is delightful. So it just depends. But mostly just fresher the better, as a general rule.
Mm-hmm.
Fresher the better, then it's easy to get a good cup.
And you sell cups too.
They got mugs, just little mugs we put out, a little bit of swag.
When we first got our branding done, we got mugs and tote bags. I think we're almost out of all of those things.
We are. We're almost out of them. Just selling around, and it's good. Mighty good mugs, good tote bags. I've sold a couple of the markets as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we covered most things.
And then some.
Yeah, we definitely hopped on yoga and basketball and coffee a few times.
Well, thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for having
Cheers.
us on.
Our pleasure.
I'm glad I finally got you out here. I've been bugging you for long enough. Yeah,
fantastic.
Well, Jarryd and Josie, Mighty Valley Coffee, this has been Smiths Falls On. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Our pleasure, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye now.
Bye.
Peace.
And that was my talk with Jarryd and Josie of Mighty Valley Coffee. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you once again to this episode's sponsors, the Arts Hub, who is hosting a paper making workshop on October 16th, 2021. Check them out, get signed up. And to Northwood Music, a local record label. Find your new favorite artist right now, singer, songwriter, musician. Find out at northwoodmusic.ca. Till next time, Smiths Falls, stay classy.